Nobody's even putting boobs into calculators anymore. Whatever makes you get your fucking butt in that seat and this podcast started. Whatever the fuck.
We got to get in here.
Yeah.
All right. Have you started, Maxim? Yeah. Okay, good.
So you just hear Brittany in the distance and me being like, whatever you need, Brittany. Whatever you need to get this
in that chair. You sound like a kind of like cool teacher.
Yeah. Why don't you get your dude? Fucking kids love it when you're like, get your butt over here. And they're like, yeah. My butt.
Cool teachers only had to say, get butts in chairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
It's a low lift.
She gets us.
Yeah.
Kids like butts.
Kids love butts. And then you go through a phase where you don't like butts, and then you start really liking butts again.
Yeah, totally.
Which is when you become an adult.
For a while, butts get gross.
Yeah.
When you're a kid.
Yeah.
And then you're embarrassed of your own butt because it's like changing a lot, I guess.
Wait. What about your butt?
Embarrassed of your own butt?
What about your butt changes during puberty?
It starts going in and out. Gets big, you know? It's like fluctuating.
Oh, it's like boobs.
It's like boobs.
It's like boobs.
It's like my boobs right now on my period.
Dude.
They're huge.
I'm about to get my period.
Did you see my boobs yesterday?
No.
They're enormous. They were like, for people who don't know, maybe some of the men, like that one guy who thought periods came from butts.
Yeah.
If we have any listeners like that, your boobs get big right before your period. Kind of.
My boobs are big right now, too.
Mine are filled up like balloons.
Dude, I was fucking... water. I was at Dave's and his cat was just walking all over my tits and I couldn't push her off because she's 1,000 years old and like decrepit as hell and also very sweet. I wanted the attention.
Oh, we'll post a picture on the Instagram.
Yeah, of the oldest cat in America.
She looks old and so proud all the time. Doesn't she?
Yeah.
She looks like really satisfied with her life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what's her name again?
Dr. Funk.
Dr. Funk.
Dave got that cat because he was like fucking, what is he? He's 41 now. So this was 18 years ago because his cat's 18.
Man.
He was like in his 20s and like he went to his roommate and was like, I think it would be really funny if a cat was named Dr. Funk. And then the next day, a man shows up with a tiny baby kitten, and he's just had that cat. He's like, I didn't want this, and now he's just had a cat.
Manifesting.
I know,
Dave, before it was a thing.
I know. Or his like dumbass roommate just making a bad decision and getting somebody an animal as a surprise, which you should never do. Yeah.
Oh, is that what happened? The roommate?
Yeah, the roommate just showed up with a cat.
Oh, the roommate. I thought some
Dave
guy.
didn't get a cat. No.
Oh, okay.
No, his roommate was just like, you said a cat name yesterday, and now you have a cat today. Which is
this is what you wanted, right?
He's like, that's what you meant, right? He's like, I can never read in between the lines like everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
welcome to Worthless Clowns. It's a podcast about how stupid we all are, right? We're doing this now, right?
Yeah.
I'm Brittany Cardwell, Brittany Cardwell on Instagram. The pod's Instagram's Worthless Clowns. That's it, right? Yeah.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm. YouTube.
Look us up on YouTube, type it in.
Email us a story.
Yeah.
If you want a story right on the pod,
@gmail.com.
we'll do it. We'll make fun of you a little. But it's like we're friends.
Yeah. We're not going to like roast you. We're just going to be friends with you.
We're just going to be friends.
Yeah. Why don't you get involved in this podcast that you listen to all the fucking time? I've seen people's Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 people out there whose top...
At least 2 people listened to this.
You know who...
in 1 year. That's good.
You know who else... our pod was in their top 5. Remember when I went on that cruise and I met all of these like fucking awesome people?
Oh yeah.
One of those people.
Oh wow.
Her name's Tessa.
What's up, Tessa?
I think she lives in Georgia.
Cool.
And it was like her 3rd biggest podcast.
Huh.
I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's so sweet.
Cool.
What's up, Tessa? You were so much fun.
What's up, Tessa? Someone I know from grad school also. I think he said it may have been his number 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
A lot different now, huh? No, I'm the same.
A lot dumber.
I'm just letting it all out now.
Oh, also, you can follow me on Instagram at It's Ali O'Neill.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Wait, Brittany, I have a question for you.
Oh, all right.
Do you ever... Okay.
I was like, Ali, when you ask me whatever question you're going to ask, don't tell me you're going to ask me the question.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, how do I segue into this?
I think you just go, hey... And then you ask.
Okay, let's try it again.
Right.
Hey, do you ever like
give me 10 minutes to forget.
Can you stop fucking interrupting me? I swear to God. You ever, sorry, I'm also having a stressed out day today, so I might seem a little bit more angry than usual.
Okay. Wait. Before you start,
we
were at dinner last night and Allie's like, oh, I got to ask you a question on the pod. So I'm going to ask you a question tomorrow on the pod. Also, at dinner, you can still do the question, but we got like espresso martinis.
Oh, yeah.
We got espresso martinis and we were finishing them and Allie's like, ooh, I like this. It's got cinnamon in it. And then I took a drink and I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, but I was going to say something.
I was thinking more big picture.
I was thinking more big picture, like good. Like I felt like I was about to say something grand.
Yeah.
Like the way you describe a wine, like, but from a distance or something.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I was thinking more big picture, like it's good. Which is like so insane. And I was like, yeah, I'm just saying there's cinnamon in it, I think.
And I only like half meant it as a joke.
Yeah, I know.
I meant to say I was thinking more big picture. And then once I was trying to find the words for it, I realized I didn't really have anything.
And you just said it tastes good?
It was good. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
What's the question?
Hey, Brittany, do you ever kiss yourself?
Oh, I tried to kiss myself recently because I was trying to figure out how to not make a kissy noise when I kiss.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I was like rolling around, or I was about to say I was rolling around in bed with Dave.
Like you're in a cartoon?
No, we were just hanging out in bed and I stretched and I went, and like kissed my arm.
Oh, you mean kissing in a real way, not like in a practical, like I'm learning way.
No. And then he caught me doing that and he's like, oh my God, that's so fucking weird. And I was like, I kiss myself all the time. Like I'll be snuggling in bed. Yeah. Here's the thing that people don't know about me. I'm actually very sweet. Mm-hmm. And I will just
half
be like,
the time you're calling yourself a piece of shit. Half the time you're kissing your own arm.
Yeah. I'll like be falling asleep in bed and I'll be like,
Yeah, I don't do that.
You don't? No. I really thought.
I may have done that once, but I can't remember.
I do it maybe a couple times a week.
Whoa. No, I never do that.
You never kiss yourself?
I don't think so.
That's so weird.
Did Dave predict that I would or wouldn't?
He's like, I don't think anybody ever does that. And I'm like, I thought everybody did it. I thought it was normal to kiss yourself. Maxim, do you ever kiss yourself?
No.
He said no so quickly.
Well, maybe you're the one that.
All right,
yesterday after the pod, we're like, should we all get tested for autism? And Ali was kind of holding back, like she didn't need it. And now you're revealing. You're like, yeah, we all kiss ourselves, right?
No, but it feels good. Here's the thing. It feels good to kiss and be kissed.
Yeah.
And so it's like obviously not as good as being kissed by somebody else.
Yeah, because it's like trying to tickle yourself.
Or kissing somebody else. But it gets the job done when you're lonely.
Yeah.
You ever just, you should try it. Like getting all like cozy. You're just like in bed and you're like,
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
I gotta wait till I got some skin on my shoulders showing.
Oh, I thought you had no skin on your shoulders.
I'm growing back my skin.
You went through some catastrophic molting recently and have no skin on your shoulders.
Yeah,
just like Neil the Seal. God bless that man.
Man, that's
I love
funny.
that man.
But yeah, I'm. Did I tell the kissing story already?
No, not on the pod.
Oh, I didn't tell it on the pod. I guess I make some kissy noises when I kiss, which I think is natural, and I think that's why it's known as a noise.
Yeah, I make kissy noises when I kiss.
Yeah.
Not when I'm like making out.
Not when making out.
But being like.
Once you're really in it, you're not making kissy noises.
Yeah,
but when you're doing like a.
Pecks.
Like a.
Yeah.
It's a natural noise of the kiss.
Also, you have a lot of real estate to work with.
There's a lot of lips here.
You have a lot of real estate on your face.
Did I tell you this? My mother. I'll get to the kissy story in a minute, but I've been meaning to bring this up because it's like, it actually makes me really mad. But it's kind of funny.
Tim McLaughlin if he kisses himself. I feel like he would.
He kisses himself. Tim is a self-proclaimed kissy boy.
Wait, we should go through all of our former guests and be like, do you think they kiss themselves?
All right, who do we got? First guest,
Shane Torres
does not kiss himself.
Eitan does not kiss himself. No, he kisses his own ass, but not for pleasure.
He kisses his ass. He's listing his credits right when he walks into a room.
Yeah, that's him kissing himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shane Torres, I could see him kissing himself.
I could see him kissing himself.
Sean Patton kisses himself.
Yeah. Josh,
Onika McLean does not kiss herself.
Onika doesn't kiss herself.
Josh Johnson
sounds like mean. She definitely
does not kiss herself. She's too normal.
Maggie, I know Maggie kisses herself because she told me she kissed her knee in the bathtub.
Oh, Maggie fucking kisses herself. Yeah. Of course Maggie kisses herself.
She does.
Fuck yeah.
But I think that was a practice session as well. So it's different from what you do.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not trying to practice.
But I bet she would kiss herself in that way.
I bet she'd kiss herself.
Yeah.
Sorry,
who are other guests? Lizzie probably doesn't kiss herself.
I don't think she kisses herself. But here's the thing, I don't think she kisses herself, but if I heard that she did, then I wouldn't be surprised.
You'd be like, oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, good. I'm glad that you're tapping into that.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Ben Katzner kisses himself.
May doesn't kiss herself.
May does not kiss herself. Micah does not kiss herself.
Micah doesn't kiss herself. Is that everybody?
I don't think that's everybody. Josh Johnson does
Ashlyn
not.
doesn't.
Ashlyn doesn't kiss herself. Josh Johnson does not kiss.
Listen to all these eps. You decide.
Yeah, tell us
if they kiss themselves or not.
Yeah, write into the pod. Tell us if any former guests you think.
Comment on the eps.
Yeah.
We're trying to boost all the other eps. This was planned. We're like, we got to figure out a way to get people to look back on all the eps. Do they kiss themselves?
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess this will be my stupid story. Maybe it wasn't what I was planning, but I told you this. I was kissing the guy, my boy. I'll just say he's my boyfriend. All right.
Okay.
Because if I say the guy I'm seeing, it sounds like we've been hanging out for a month.
Yeah. It also sounds like you just see him.
Yeah. True.
Not like you're getting there.
Okay,
romantically.
Calm down, Ali. You gotta take it easy. Anyway, we were
not like you're falling in love.
Yeah, we're like kissing, and I said something like, oh, I want to kiss more or something like that. And then he's like, okay, maybe this isn't a good time to say this, but you make kissy noises when you kiss.
He would absolutely have a problem. He would absolutely have overstimulation by hearing too many kissy noises. And you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I think I do make kissy noises.
Yeah.
Because I'm kissing.
Yeah.
And then we were doing that for like at least 15 minutes. Yeah. I'm like, what? A bird?
Of course I'm kissing. I'm kissing.
That's a callback to an episode that might come after this one.
Who knows?
So it could be confusing.
Who fucking knows?
Doesn't matter. So I'm like, yeah, I'm making kissy noises because I'm kissing with my mouth. And that's the noise it makes. It's on movies. It's in TV.
I know, yeah.
There's a reason. Yeah. It's like, right?
Yeah, I do this a lot.
Yep, you can make different noises.
I do that all the time to Dave. I'm always like, you're a bitch. I do that a lot.
Those are purposeful noises, though. But it also comes about naturally.
But yeah, if you do like a peck, it's always like,
yeah,
we should kiss.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's like, he's like, Brittany. Oh, we should kiss? I didn't hear it.
I thought.
I think I'm back.
I was like, we should kiss. And you're like, yeah, anyway. I'm trying to get Brittany to kiss me on the pod.
Anyway, she does this all the time, and I've just decided to ignore it.
I'm always like, can we please kiss? I've been kissing myself for so long.
Yeah. So anyway, we're talking about this noise that I'm making, and he's like, yeah, but it's like so like it repeats in such a regular fashion. Like it felt fake, I guess.
Of course it does.
Because it was like,
I'm kissing.
Because every time I kissed, it made a sound.
Yeah.
So then he was like thinking it was like fake or something. And I think that's what bothered him, is because he didn't know that
he thought you were like hamming it up for him.
Yeah. Like, this guy's going to want to hear a lot of kissy noises. Yeah. He likes kissy noises. When I'm telling him about telling my friends about him, I'm like, yeah, he's a cat. Great. He likes kissy noises. Yeah. So I do it up for him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're like, he's a cat. So I have to be like, come over here.
He's a little scared dog.
Yeah.
That needs to be like, is that a squeaky toy?
And you have to go near him and be like,
yeah.
Hello, how are you?
So then we were laughing about that, because I have this problem that everyone knows about, where I sound sarcastic all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing.
You're kissing.
Even when I'm kissing, it sounds like I'm like, Now I'm kissing you. Look at this. We're kissing.
Oh God.
Yeah. So now I'm anxious about how I kiss.
Yeah.
But
you practiced.
But I practiced on my hand and I got the noises to go away.
You kissed yourself.
Yeah.
And then practiced. Mm-hmm. And now you don't make as big of kissing noises.
Yeah.
Have you like checked in about that after the fact and been like, how's my kissing?
Well, then after the conversation, we practiced kissing for a long time.
Just say you fucked. That's disgusting.
Yeah. We practiced kissing for a while and then a bunch of other stuff happened after.
Is this like pretending to dance?
Yeah, we
practicing kissing.
Yeah.
It's
we didn't
just
really
kissing.
kiss. We were just practicing kissing.
Yeah, I'm not actually kissing you.
It's not really kissing if I'm like
It sounds like you're eating gum.
I'm kissing you.
Sounds like you're chewing a bunch of Big League.
Yeah. But also when we were having this conversation, I was like, oh yeah. One time I went on a couple dates with this guy and we were back in my apartment and we were like making out.
Yeah.
And he was making a ton of kissy noises.
Yeah.
And they seemed very, very like
performative.
Yeah. And I remember also being very distracted and being like, what is happening?
Yeah.
This guy can't stop making kissy noises.
Maybe his mouth was dry.
I don't know. But I kind of made fun of that guy.
In front of him? To his face?
I shouldn't have done it.
Oh, you're kissing me? Oh, I get it. We're kissing.
So maybe this is just, it's karmic.
Yeah.
Now if someone's saying it to me and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said it to someone I don't know in kind of a mean way.
Did you ever go on another date with that guy?
Yeah. I think I saw him.
So I guess it wasn't that bad.
A few times.
He wasn't
a very good guy.
Oh.
He was like a fuckboy.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
But I don't think I
know
cared
who this
at
is?
the time. No, it was in New Zealand.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuckboys in New Zealand, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I kiss myself all the time, and I think it feels really good. It feels really good to kiss and to be kissed. And you can get the job done by doing it to yourself. I like getting snuggly, dude. I like snuggling up and kissing my own arm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what other thing is like that, where it's like you just do it yourself. I mean, other than masturbating, obviously.
Yeah. It is masturbating.
When you kiss yourself, are you imagining someone else kissing you?
No.
You know, so it's you. So it's not like masturbating.
No.
You're like,
no, yeah. I guess I'm just like,
it's very clear there's nothing going on here.
I'm getting in the cuddly mindset.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I love snuggling up.
I mean, I'll like hug myself.
Yeah, it's like hugging yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I don't think I feel as comforted by a little kiss from myself.
I don't think I feel as comforted by a little kiss from myself.
Do they have hug robots, like hug machines?
Excuse
me?
Like
arms that are just attached to your wall that if you go to it, it wraps around?
I don't think they do.
There's got to be someone who has that.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics, get on this. It just squeezes the shit out of you.
Yeah, just for the feeling of it.
I know, yeah, but I feel like the thing that's good about a hug is like the even distribution and feeling another person's body. And I feel like if it was just arms that came in and clamped you, it would not be as good.
I think the thing about a hug that is nice is that someone intentionally is giving you love.
Yeah, and so a robot would not do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're like, what feels nice is the even distribution of the body.
Oh.
We just switched roles right here.
Yeah.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Yeah.
We read the wrong lines.
I'm sorry, we switched scripts.
Yeah.
The even distribution of the body.
You're saying it, you're like, this does not feel right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've been hanging out with each other too much. And I'm like, I was thinking more big picture, like it feels good. Also, it's so funny, like, you saying I was thinking more big picture seems like a neg to me.
It does.
I'm like, there's cinnamon in this and it tastes good. And you're like, yeah, I was thinking more big picture, actually. Like that this is a drink.
I was looking at the concepts from a higher level.
Yeah.
You know? I was like up looking at everything.
You said it like you were about to be like, there's cinnamon in it. I'm Ali O'Neill. There's cinnamon in this. Yeah. God.
And then I made myself sound so dumb.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Dude. And then I almost spilled my espresso martini. I feel like people are probably surprised that we have espresso martinis. Because we're fancy.
We're always beer in it.
I'm actually really sweet, and I'm actually very fancy.
Yeah. Sometimes we go out to expensive meals together.
Yeah, we did last night. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like expensive.
I owe you still.
I'll send you the fucking bill. But also last night.
See that? Real friendship.
Oh,
this is all for the pod. Yeah, we go to dinner together.
Yeah. And then
whatever.
Expense it to our business.
We don't look at each other right after the pod because it's hard to get through.
There are people who are like that.
Yeah.
Who have like famous podcasts who hate each other.
I would love to know who.
Dude, it's like
it'd be so hard to be in a dynamic. Like
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like how Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters never liked each other.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They were never friends.
They never looked like they loved being around each other.
But they seemed like to have good chemistry on screen and stuff. You know what I mean?
True.
And they would like riff and make jokes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And like also I think it might have been easier to pretend to be friends because they both had such like clear, strong characters that they were playing. Mm-hmm. Adam's like, I'm a crazy boy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's like, I'm standing in the death ray and I'm still alive, so I don't think it's working.
And let's get this experiment done.
Yeah.
Was he more like, come on, we have work to do?
No, he had like a much more dry sense of humor. Yeah. Like he like, I don't know. I think he was like, something was very clearly broken. He's like, well, there's your problem.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got his fucking mustache and shit.
Yeah.
God, that guy rules. He looks like Neil the Seal.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched the Quicksand episode a couple weeks ago. Did I tell you that?
No.
Because I was wondering about quicksand again. 90s.
I know.
90s topics.
Yeah. There was
parasites, quicksand.
Yeah.
Pogs. We were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
And on the pod yesterday. Jeez, everything's merging together.
On the pod yesterday.
We're recording too many pods in 1 week and we can't see where we're at.
We had to cancel one on Wednesday. And if we didn't, we would have done 4 pods in a week.
God, I'm glad kind of that we didn't.
Yeah.
The reason was awful, but.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank God we didn't have to record that podcast. Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Kenny.
Yeah. Maybe we should explain that.
Oh, yeah.
You could do your Kenny
my stupid
stories.
Story. Mm-hmm. So a fellow comedian and friend of ours got hit by a car on his bike and died.
Yeah, and it's awful, tragic.
And he was like the nicest man in the entire world. Mm-hmm. And
Kenny Deforest, you should watch his stand up. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's
really,
so fucking funny.
Just like a lovely guy.
Yeah, really like the sweetest man in the entire world. And like, of course, nothing bad ever happens to bad people. It only happens to the best people. And he was in the hospital for a few days, and they weren't sure if he was going to live or not. And so like, it's been like kind of a week leading up to him dying. Probably like 5 days or whatever. And I guess like my stupid story around it is that he was a good friend of mine, but it's not like he was my best friend or anything. Yeah. But people who I am very close with were his best friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like I was trying to be like supportive from the outside without being like overbearing and stuff. And like in that, I just was finding out all of the information as they got it, just trying to be a friend to people who are like at the hospital with him. Mm-hmm. And obviously it's like a fucking terrible, horrible thing. And then you're hearing like all of this, like, I don't want to like share any details because I don't want to like invade his privacy or whatever, but like you're hearing these like terrible medical things that are happening to people.
And from your best friends that are trying to hold it together.
Exactly.
And just give you the info.
And I'm like, how are you? And then they describe some other terrible thing that was happening to Kenny in the hospital and whatever. And like, and I don't know, you're just like, I was just trying to be like supportive and whatever. And so I went into the office on Tuesday and my boss comes over to my desk and she's like, hey, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. And I was having a very hard day.
Boss doesn't know anything.
Doesn't know anything. Yeah. I was having a very hard day with like all the Kenny shit, like in general. And I was like trying not to fucking cry at my desk.
Yeah.
And she comes over and is like, hey, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm like, yeah.
Hey.
I know.
Oh, I like your hair like that.
Yeah.
She's like way in the wrong zone.
I know. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I've been meaning to have a...
Wait, this is like when we were at Midwood. We went and got a drink to talk about this stuff.
Oh my God,
we were real
yes.
sad. And like we were visibly upset
we
and
were
sad,
both crying in a bar,
not having a good time at all. And our bartender comes over and he's like, I'm having a horrible day. I lost my phone. My phone is gone. I can't get your drink orders right. But he was also being all laughy and jovial about it. And
I know.
Like, dude.
And we're both sitting there with tears in our eyes. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I forgot the beer that you ordered. My phone just got stolen. And the guy is in here acting like he didn't steal my phone. And like,
it was way too happy for what we were doing.
And he was not reading the room.
Yeah.
And so like my boss comes over to my desk and she's like, hey, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to have a call with you tomorrow to like kind of explain myself and like blah, blah, blah. And she's like,
you felt like she was going to tell you weren't doing well enough at work.
Exactly. Like I felt very like MIA at my job. And I thought she was picking up on that.
Yeah.
And I got really in my head about that.
Yeah.
Because I've been like having a hard time like getting my work done and shit. And she and I was like, yeah, I've been meaning to like have a call with you and like we can like I'd like to talk about it tomorrow. And she's like, is everything okay? Or she said, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, but it's just like I just want to like explain myself and whatever. And she's like, do you want to talk about it right now? And I was like, kind of, not really. And then like I had to like the way she was like looking at me, I had to be like, my friend got in a terrible accident at work. And then I started like crying at my desk. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like take off as much time as you need, blah, blah, blah. Like was really great about it. And then is like, hey, the reason why I came over is because I wanted to give you this $25 Starbucks gift card for Christmas.
Why did she not wait? It's so weird that she didn't wait.
Because it was like the day of the Christmas party. And so like she was like going around to everybody and giving them out and like having a moment with everybody on the team to be like, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And she comes over, she's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, my friend is dying. And then she's like, here's a Starbucks gift card.
The exchange is so ridiculous. How did she leave? Was she just leaving awkwardly or like?
No. She was, I don't know. She's like, I don't know. She's very like sweet and stuff. So she was like, here's this. She recognized how awkward it was to give me the Starbucks gift card after I started crying about my friend who's dying.
Yeah.
And she was like, weird, right?
Oh, okay. So she let you know that she knew that it was kind of weird.
Yes. No, it was clear that she understood that it was like weird. But it was like, it was just so crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Anna.
Yeah. That's so funny.
She's like, hey. And I'm like, and then, but it ended up all being fine. And she was like cool about it and stuff. It was just like, the reason why it was so awkward and stuff is because I got so into my head about it. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, watch everything Kenny Deforest has ever done. He's a fucking fantastic comedian.
Man. Yeah. I've been watching his clips.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There've been a lot of clips coming up.
I mean, I could tell my Kenny story too.
Yeah.
So, everyone is posting like pictures of Kenny and describing their experience with him and how he's a great guy and a great comic and how he touched so many people. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like reading every one of them and I'm getting like sad and like, I'm like, man, this is awful.
Yeah.
And I'm liking,
it's like the worst thing in the entire fucking
I'm liking
world.
Every post I see about Kenny. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm posting pictures of him on my story. Mm-hmm. I'm watching his clips. Everyone's doing this right now. Right.
I know. Yeah.
And
he was like one of the most beloved people. Like, I was thinking about this last night. Like, the only thing that you could ever like, the only success you can ever have in life is for people to talk about you the way they're talking about Kenny after you die. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's I've been doing that for days, like everyone else. Yeah. And I went to my For You page, right? Which is normally all frogs.
Yeah.
And it was all Kenny, right?
Yeah.
And at first it made me sad.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, my frogs are gone. Because my For You page got to be entirely frogs. If you've seen any of the previous eps, you know this, but I'll just re-explain. It became entirely frogs because we started sending frog memes between me, you, and Eitan.
Yeah.
As a joke, but now we all truly like frogs.
Like the frogs, yeah.
So then I felt like attached to my Frog For You page.
Yeah, frog you page.
Yeah. And now it's all Kenny. So it just looks, I was saying this to Ali yesterday, now it just looks like I'm autistic for Kenny. Like I'm finished with frogs and now I only like Kenny. It just looks so
You're
funny.
Like, Kenny's dead, now all my frogs are gone? What the hell? This is the worst week ever.
Yeah. I was like, it was like very sad to being like, oh yeah, there is, you know, more like,
yeah.
But at the same time, I thought it was so funny.
I know. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. My frogs are gone.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love laughing. Should we get into our posting?
Yeah, we should.
Do you want to read it off of my phone?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool.
My phone's in the corner getting charged if anyone's worried about my phone.
Nobody's worried about your phone.
Somebody stole my phone. You guys are crying. I won't ask what that's about.
Yeah.
I'm going to overlook that for 5 to 10 minutes while I serve you and come back and let you know about the updates with my phone.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was also talking to, like the day that like we all found out it happened, a very similar thing happened. It was me, Andrea Allen, and Lizzie Cassidy, and we're all getting like dinner at Eddie Joe's actually. And, the person who's like serving us comes over and is like, oh my God, I love your nails. And then talks about nails for like 15 minutes with us. And we're all crying.
God. It always happens like that.
I know. Yeah. And it's never like it happens when you're wanting the server to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is like not nearly as sad. Like, but one time I was crying because I was with a guy and he was we were having a difficult conversation. Mm-hmm. I was at a bar and I was like, tearing up. It wasn't horrible, but it was like, clearly I'm sad and my eyes are watery and there are a couple tears. Right. Mm-hmm. And he's stressed out because the conversation is hard. Yeah. And then this woman comes over and she's like, hey, we're about to start bingo. Do you guys want a bingo card? Or like a trivia card or something like that?
Whenever I'm barking for comedy shows, I make sure I go to the person who's crying the most on the street.
And she didn't notice. She came over, talked to us about bingo for a while, and we're like, look what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah.
God. And then you feel rude being like, no, thank you. I'm sorry. We're talking right now.
Yeah. And then we left immediately. We were like, we're not going to sit here and have this conversation while people are playing trivia. Yeah. And you're like, he's like, should I get a trivia card? And you're like, you never listen. And it starts up all over again. Yeah. All right. Post from an internet user. Should I read the
Read the title. Yeah. I think you should read the title.
Am I the asshole for switching to regular milk to prove my lactose intolerant roommate keeps stealing from me? Ooh.
Juicy. Ooh. Poop's going to be a part of this. Yesterday, boobs. Today, poop.
We haven't talked about
poop. Poop is just boobs upside down.
In 2 episodes. Is it? It is. Wow.
Guys,
wait,
I'm a genius.
Can you do that on a calculator? No.
No, because it's a capital B.
You can do 9s, but then it's a backwards P.
We'll figure this out later. Anyway.
Another 90s topic.
Yeah, I know.
What bad stuff can you spell on a TI calculator?
I know, yeah.
Now people can just write in their phones. Okay. Why did I start this? That also doesn't make any sense. You could have just written it anywhere.
Yeah, you're like, now people just write in their phones. Anyway.
Like I'm mad.
Yeah.
Like things have changed a lot.
Nobody's even putting boobs into calculators anymore.
What were we talking about yesterday?
Boobs.
Oh yeah, having to draw dicks, and that's why.
That's how you get bigger
young
dick.
Boys draw dicks. It's because they think it's how they get a big dick.
And you and I didn't draw enough boobs, and that's why you have small titties. We have humble breasts.
That's actually like such a good.
I think there's a Shakira lyric that's like, actually I can't think of it. Never mind. But she's like, I'm glad my breasts are humble, so they won't be compared to mountains. Or something like that.
Really?
I think so.
I'm glad my breasts are humble.
Wait, no, it's probably like, I'm glad my breasts are humble.
Yeah. Me and 2 other guys share an apartment together, and we split all the bills. The only thing we don't split costs on is groceries. Everyone's in charge of buying their own food. We don't touch whatever doesn't belong to us. We put our names on everything. It's been almost a year, and I'm sick of it. One of my he's sick of what he's about to describe, not the other stuff. One of my roommates...
like, I'm sick of splitting costs equally in a household.
Yeah. One of my roommates, keeps stealing my food. I get home from work and containers with my leftovers are sometimes missing. They'll have my name written on it. Or my stuff finishes too quick. My gallon of milk, for example. I buy almond milk because I like the taste, but it seems to finish after a week, even though I've only drank once or twice. I confronted R about lots of times and it's caused arguments. He denies it and tells me I'm crazy, even though it's so obvious. My other roommate and I carpool together because we both work the same early morning shift around the same area, so I know it's not him. It's always after we get back home and R's already left for work and I notice my food's gone. My roommate also had a similar problem. I'm guessing because R doesn't like what he buys. Oh, he had a similar problem, but not as often.
Yeah, because he doesn't like what the other roommate buys.
Yeah. The funny thing is, R buys a lot for himself and is even more stingy about his food. He'll literally point out what's his when he comes back from grocery shopping and tells us not to touch it.
Every time.
Whoa.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah. Last week, my milk was nearly empty again, and I got fed up. I went to the liquor store and bought regular dairy milk. I drank what was left of my almond milk and refilled the gallon with the one I bought. Little trickster.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. This was to catch/prove that R is the one stealing, since he's lactose intolerant. The next day, Saturday.
He's like, then I go into everybody's laundry and see who has fucking skid marks in there.
Yeah.
And that's the milk stealer.
The next day we get back from work and R is pissed. He yelled at me that he was stuck in the bathroom for 40 minutes with diarrhea because of my milk. He was using it to make a shake. I only responded with, so then you're the one who's been stealing. He freaking exploded. He freaking exploded. This is funny when people write like that.
I know.
Yeah, he admitted he was sometimes drinking my milk and eating my food, but he was more mad that I switched milks than the fact that he was caught. They're both doing something where they're lying, right?
Yeah. But also the guy
One of them's worse because this is his milk. So that's...
Well,
he's just putting his own milk in a different container. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think you could make the argument that, like, you're messing with somebody's health if you know they're going to drink it.
Yeah.
Because, like, some people are lactose intolerant. They just get, like, Princess Di. But, like, some people, it could really affect.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, he gave this guy a chance to say he wasn't drinking
I know. He should have just been like, hey, I'm making a smoothie. Can I use your milk?
Yeah, just ask.
Yeah.
I told him I wouldn't have done that if he'd just stopped taking my stuff from the fridge, or at least told the truth instead of trying to make it seem like I was making it up. My roommate backed me up and thought it was kind of funny he got payback for stealing from us. It's a little tense right now. My roommate told me R's trying to get him to agree to kick me out.
Oh my God.
I told some buddies what happened, and a few think I'm an asshole. I feel like I'm not in the wrong here. He was taking my food, not even owning up to it.
Everyone's an asshole.
Prove it. Yeah.
Everyone's an asshole in this situation.
Yeah.
Buy your own milk, and also don't give people diarrhea knowingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. I don't have a ton to say about this, but I just have my own roommate stories.
Yeah.
Like, I won't go on and on about this one because I have so many stories about her.
Oh my God,
I'll just have to do a big story about her one day. But
yeah.
I had this really awful roommate in Brooklyn, like 3 years ago, I guess, is when I was living with her. And she's just was like, she paid so much attention to everything I did.
Yeah.
In a way that was very much like, you're living in my house and everything you do, I'm questioning. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like assume that if there's something wrong, it's because of you.
Yeah.
So it was like very like, kind of like I'm on my toes all the time with this lady. Right. Yeah. Her name's Sharon. I'll say it. She was so mean.
Yeah. Fuck you, Sharon. Not my stepmom. Yeah. My stepmom's name is also Sharon, but she didn't live with you ever and she wouldn't do this.
Yeah. But I'll just tell a couple of the ridiculous stories. One time I came home from work She like just paid too much attention to every little piece of the house.
She was also like such a fucking homebody, and it seemed like she didn't have many friends or things to do. So like she could spend all of her energy like making sure everybody in the apartment is behaving exactly how she wants them to behave.
Yeah. One time I came home and she was sitting at the kitchen table and I walked in. She was just like waiting for me. It was like one of those scenes in a movie where someone's waiting. They're pissed. Yeah. They know your schedule enough that they're like, all right, I'm going to catch her when she walks in.
Yeah.
And I walk in, she's sitting there and I'm like, oh, hey, Sharon, what's up? And she's like, well, some tablespoons are missing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and first of all, I don't use tablespoons. Okay. I like little spoons.
Oh, yeah, same.
If I'm eating a meal, I'm eating from a little spoon. I eat it with little spoons.
Autism.
I don't eat from a tablespoon. I don't touch tablespoons. Autism.
It is, probably.
It's more like, I don't know. It's just too big of a bite.
Yeah, it's a sensory thing. I get it.
So I'm definitely not the one with the spoons. I'm not bringing a tablespoon to work to eat my lunch, you know? And she sits me down and like will not give up on it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't use the spoons. But also for her to notice a few tablespoons missing is crazy because we had like 30 plus spoons. So she's like counting spoons.
That's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
I kept being like trying to go into my room and like get whatever done I was going to get done.
Yeah.
And she kept being like, well, and she'd be like, I don't think it's her, the other girl who lives here. I asked her, I was like, is it her?
Yeah.
Like maybe she uses those spoons.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. And she kept just implying that it was me and I had to confess.
Dude, she's interrogating you.
Yeah, she was interrogating me. And so then I'm sitting there with her trying to come up with like different hypotheses about where the spoons might have gone. Just to make her feel like I care, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to be like, she really wants to have a conversation about spoons. I guess we'll talk.
Yeah.
And we never figured out. I don't know what happened, but that was one example. And then another time I came home and she's like, hey, so just so you know, like I have these other like energy saving light bulbs and you can use those if you want. And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I was trying to figure out why she was telling me this.
She's doing one of those things where she's like, here's an option, but what she really wants to say is, can you switch out your light bulbs?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
She could just say like, hey, you should take this. It serves energy.
Yeah.
I'd be happy for you to use it.
Yeah. And then we can all pay less in our bills.
Whatever it is she wants, she could have just said it.
Yeah. She could have just asked instead of and then the people who are like so passive in asking for things always get mad when you don't think that they're asking you to do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're always like, I have to ask her again. Hey, buddy, light bulbs are still over here if you want to use them, you know? But and it's like, just ask.
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, did you notice a change in the energy bill? Is that why you're suggesting this? Because the only other reason that she's saying this is she went in my room and she didn't like my light bulbs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to accuse her of going in my room without first being like, maybe she has noticed a change.
Yeah, you're not her with the spoons.
Yeah. Maybe there's some other reason she thinks I might not have these energy saving light bulbs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I'm asking her about it. I'm like, so did this happen? Is that why you're asking? And she's like, oh, no, I don't know. And then I'm like, just tell me you noticed I have these light bulbs.
Yeah.
And you were in my room snooping around. Making sure I got all the right stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One time she noticed a plant that was dying in my window and she brought it out of my room. My door's always closed. I'm not like, yeah, go in there whenever you want.
Yeah.
She brings it out of my room. It's on the table and she's like, the plant was dying, so I brought it out here. I'm saving the plant. And I'm like, you're going in my room.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
And also she's like, I noticed it from outside in your window. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You were in my room.
Yeah.
It's too far away for you to know it's dying.
Yeah.
By looking at my window.
God.
Yeah.
The shit story reminds me of, I tell me if I've told this on the pod before, but when I was a kid, my brother always drank strawberry milk, like Nesquik.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the idea of it, but I had never tried it.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it looks gross.
It does.
Pink milk?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And like, so we're sitting outside, like on our porch or our stoop or whatever. And like, he's like, I'll be right back. Don't fucking drink my strawberry milk. And I'm like, okay. And then he leaves. And then I take a sip of it. And there's a bee in there.
Oh.
And the bee stings me on the inside of my mouth.
No.
And then I tell Owen when he gets back, I'm like, I got stung by a bee in my mouth. And he's like, how? And I'm like, I drank your strawberry milk. He's like, you drank my fucking strawberry milk. So in this situation, I'm the guy who's stealing the milk and getting diarrhea. But the difference is I saved Owen from being stung inside his mouth by a bee.
I think it's good it went that way for him.
For him, he should be thanking me. Instead, he's like, you took a sip of my strawberry milk. And then I never had it again.
Women's intuition. I knew there was something wrong with the milk. Something was telling me I had to taste this milk to protect Owen. My mom, she like really will use that excuse of women's intuition.
Yeah.
Like if she's in the car with my dad, she backseat drives too much. She's like,
yeah,
Britt. And it's like very distracting. Yeah. He's like, look, I get that you're like worried about something going on. But for me, it just seems like something crazy is happening. Yeah. And I'm going to react to what I don't understand.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not something like that.
Yeah.
And that's like more dangerous.
Yes.
Than
totally.
Probably whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like a car that just has his blinker on.
I know. Yeah.
Or whatever. Oh, Britt.
One time I was driving with Odea, like in LA, and she was like, oh, the moon. And I was like, don't ever fucking make that noise while I'm driving ever again. I really yelled at her, which I felt bad about. But I yelled at her like I was her dad or something. Yeah. But
it's very distracting.
Somebody going,
it's like,
while we're on the highway.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hated it.
But my dad will be like, you can't do that because of this. And then she's like, it's women's intuition. And she'll like make it out as though like, she's like, I see things, but it's like, yeah, you saw brake lights.
Yeah.
That we all can see.
Yeah. She's like, my intuition is that man's going to turn. And it's like, no, you have sight.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say more about the milk. Oh, just one more story about my roommate. This is the one probably that made me the most mad, even though it's like, it's the least invasive. She was away and it was during COVID. She had ordered a bunch of groceries, but they were going to show up before she got back. Yeah. So she was like worried about some of them spoiling before she got back.
I remember the story. Yeah.
And so she texts me and she's like, hey, so a bunch of groceries are arriving. I'm not going to be back in time. You should eat the stuff like the fruit and vegetables. Yeah. Before it spoils. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. Happy to do that. Yeah. The main thing was a bunch of peaches that could go off. Yeah. So I purposely...
Go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said go off.
It's the same thing.
What? I thought going off was like, yeah, go off.
Yeah, that's one version of it.
I've never heard go off to mean go bad.
Yeah, it means go bad.
Okay, anyway.
Questionable, Ali thinks.
I don't believe you.
All right, well... What about our mantra?
Yeah. Trust in your ability to identify a lizard.
Oh, maybe it's not a lizard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe go off.
This is definitely not a lizard.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, okay, sure. I was like, I'll eat your stuff for you. That's what you want me to do? Yeah. Happy to do it. Yeah. So I ate a peach every day for her. I wouldn't normally have eaten. They were huge and it was kind of a lot. Yeah. But I was like, I don't want these to go off. I should eat these peaches. They are good. Yeah. And then she comes back. And she opens the fridge and she's like, where are all the peaches?
Oh my God.
And she's mad at me for doing what she asked me to do. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm there and I'm like, you asked me to eat them. Yeah. And so I did. And then she's just pissed. And then she's like telling me like, I don't know. She's just really mad and kind of like telling me that she owes her now. And I'm like.
It's like a scam. It's like that scam where somebody like carries around a broken glass bottle and then bumps into somebody on purpose and drops the bag.
Someone did this to me once.
Yeah. And so they're like, you have to pay for that expensive liquor that was in the bottle.
Yeah. Someone dropped like
glasses?
No, like a bunch of food in a styrofoam thing that they just got out of the trash or whatever. They bumped into me and dropped it. And it was when I first moved to New York. Yeah. So I was kind of like, oh no, what am I going to do? Yeah. Yeah. And then someone like came by and talked to I don't know what happened, but someone like kind of intervened. Like, I don't know if they knew that it was a trick or if they just knew that I was like, I'm stressed because I don't have like
They're
cash
like, I have
for
to
this
help
guy.
this little girl.
And I think I was like rushing to a comedy thing or whatever. So I was like all out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was mad about the peaches and she brought it up all the time. And eventually she was like making cookies one time. And she was like, oh, so you can just go and buy me some chocolate chips and that'll be good enough for the peaches. And I got them and I was like, ugh, I just got to end this.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
She would ask me if I wanted one of her shirts that she didn't want anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, I'm not like, oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks. So I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll wear it. Like, sure.
Yeah.
I could try it out. And then she'll ask me for money like a week later for the shirt. Like, you gave me the shirt. She doesn't understand giving at all.
No, she's a scam artist. That's what she is.